What's your most painful example of, I did everything I could, but it still wasn't enough? My first memory is when I was 4 years old and stole a cookie from the cookie jar because my dad got so mad that he not only made me vomit into a bowl, but also lick the bowl clean. So I couldn't understand it when I was 9 years old, and they decided to have another baby, but I still wanted my sister to have a better life than me. So as soon as she was born, I played with her as much as I could, when my parents weren't looking, obviously. And when she turned 4 and my parents tried to use her as a human punching bag, I would do what we later joked about and called the burrito. It's basically where I wrap my arms around her and take the brunt of the force. And by the time I was 16, while my friends were sneaking out to parties or girlfriends, I was at home trying to secretly gather evidence for CPS. In just a few weeks, I had photos of our injuries, clothing stained with red, medical records, and voice recordings of my parents shouting at the top of their lungs. Even the social worker promised that she would find us another home, and my little sister would never experience violence ever again. I still remember how I felt going to sleep every night, knowing that finally, after 16 years, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. And 2 years later, I had finally moved out and was earning around $5,000 a month by being a construction worker, which meant I was able to adopt her. The first few months were the best, because even though she was still having nightly panic attacks and insomnia, she was safe. So I thought nothing could ruin it. Boy, was I wrong. Because even though I had gone no contact with my parents, the trauma had never left me. And instead of healing through therapy or medication, I turned to alcohol. And for a while, I was pretty successful at hiding it from my sister, but then once a week turned into twice, and twice turned into 4 times. And before I knew it, I was 19 drinking all day every day. Even though my memory is blurred, I'm pretty sure I was still a good big brother. I made her meals 3 times a day. She knew she could come to me with anything, and budgeting was never really a problem. Compared to our family home, it was practically paradise on earth. But CPS thought otherwise. You see, after forgetting to pick her up from school just twice in 6 months, a teacher reported me. And, long story short, I lost custody. The way my sister cried in court that day is still burned into my memory. I couldn't stop thinking about how I had failed her, and that's when I knew I needed to get my shot together. So, I did. I poured thousands into therapy, rehab, and even meditation retreats. Except by the time I was ready to retrial for custody, I was too late. Because that week, I found out my 12-year-old sister had self-unalived. Her body was found in the bathroom of the foster home. And now my sister is another statistic that the system failed. I effing hate this country, but not as much as I hate myself.